There you are. Again, Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, so my Z guitars neck through Junior with the Tremelo. It's a neck through. So it's all one side. You can kind of see anyway my Z guitars. So yeah, this thing is so heavy. I mean, it's probably the heaviest guitar I've ever owned. Got the trim, which I usually don't like. I love Z guitars. This has got the biggest neck I've ever had or seen on a guitar. It's like a baseball bat neck. Z guitars, custom made. Now this wasn't my specs. I love Juniors, and then so how I got this guitar. So I'd ordered my first guitar from Z Guitars, and when it was ready, when I went to pick it up, this was sitting out. I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, he was." It was something he made for himself. Like it was his specs, neck through. So it's literally like the neck goes straight through the body. Then it's got wings, and I think this one is like mahogany. The neck is like mahogany, maple, walnut. I'm not really sure. But all old growth wood. A real beast of a guitar. I mean, a real beast. So let's break this down. I don't understand why it goes so dark. My lighting is so bad. Because you know what? It's actually bright in here. Maybe it's this camera. But it's got the trim on it. So, you got and I got it set pretty tight. It's not as whammy barish, if you will. Because I don't like whammy. I don't like trims. But I mean, it's a tool, It's like when I went there, I picked up my first Junior. He's like, "Yeah, you can play it." So I picked this up, and I was like, "My God, I wanted it." I was like, "Well, I'll come back." He's like, "Yeah, it's for sale. I'll charge you the same as the one that I made for you." I was like, "Oh my God, really?" So I went home, and the next time I got around to it, I went out there and I got this. Excellent guitar. Excellent guitar. So let's just start with, it's got the trim. So I took off the locking, the nut on the neck. It does have the string tree, but I don't like dealing with the locking down and then loosening it up. I just took it off. It's got the volute. It's got a volute. Grover tunings. I think these are like 16-1. Rosewood fretboard. Gigantic dots on the sides. You can see on stage how big those are. Fret indicators, I think they're called. Rosewood fretboard. So this is where it gets kind of crazy. So it's got a Floyd Rose trim, but it's actually what's it called? It's like a Floyd Rose special or something. But if you can see, it's got the titanium kit. So it's got those titanium parts and the titanium back here, which it makes it basically a regular Floyd. Fine tuners here. I don't even use this. These are kind of trippy pickups. They're and I thought I'd take them out, but they're perfect for this guitar. They're Dimebag Darrell. Like, I don't even know what you call these. Got those huge screws on them, these magnets. And this is a Duncan designed set. So Duncan Design, this is for they weren't in the US made Dimebag guitars. They were like the Korean made or whatever. So these are like Korean made, I think, Dimebag pickups. And I thought, well, I'm just going to pull those out as soon as I get it. But they for what this is, because this thing's a sustain monster. This thing has got these pickups are pretty good for, again, you want different sounds in your guitar. So I thought, man, why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, so in the neck is also the Duncan Design Dimebag. I forgot what they're called. Dimebag, I don't even know. And then you got your volume and tone, but they're push pull, so you can split the pickups. So this one splits the bridge, this one splits the neck. Then if you got them both up, you've got like kind of this creamy open humbucker 3-way toggle switch, and then the input jack. You guys can see this guitar. What's up with this lighting? But yeah, it is awesome. So yeah, it just got sustained. It'll just keep going and go. It's just a sustained monster. It's actually kind of hard to get that kind of feedback from a small amp like this. So that's why I like those pickups, and that's why I like the trip. You know, again, it's a tool. You know, it's like having hammers and screws, and it's just a monster. So yeah, it is. Again, I think Z guitars are the best guitars you can get. If you can get one, that is. I mean, because it's one dude. And you know, there's only so much he can do. There's only so much because he does everything. He does he painted this, he put it together, everything. And you know, it takes time. But it's a neck through. Again, I love juniors. I love the double cutaway. And like I said, I went to his little shop, if you will, and it was out. There was guitars like in progress. There was some that needed painting. There was all kinds of, you know, and I saw this one. Again, I don't like tremolos. I like stop bar tailpieces. I'm not a fan of Floyd Rose. One of my first guitars, I had like a Floyd Rose, you know, in the 80s. You got because they are fun to fart around with, you know. So I saw it at the shop. I thought, man, after I played it, I was like, I gotta have this. You know, kind of matches me. You know, I'm a double cutaway kind of guy. It is unique. You know, a neck through junior with the tremolo. And I've never had a neck through. Maybe I have had a neck through, but maybe to flip. You know, I used to flip a lot of guitars, but not like my personal guitar had a neck through. So, and I've had this maybe 2 years because I got it right after I had my first junior that I had made, and I made a video about that. I made a video about the junior that I made or had made, I should say. And again, I don't, you know, this is a rock and roll machine. It's got like usable feedback. You know, you can really, and it stays in tune. It needs to be restrung. When it's restrung, these strings are, God, at least a year old. It's tricky to string up a Floyd correctly. My favorite Floyds are the ones that are called like quick strings, or it goes, you go through the back end and string it through. But a lot of dudes didn't like that because when you dive bomb on your trim, you would like the strings would get loose or whatever and snap back and you'd be out of tune. But I don't use it that much. I set mine Floyds up or have them set up, or I mean I could do it myself. You got to take off the back plate and tighten the springs, but I like to set them up like a Bigsby, like kind of an old school kind of tremolo. But this thing, my goodness, it's just, again, the options with the push pull and again, I wouldn't have the dime bag pickups, but it's just a great guitar. I don't know if you can't tell, but it's starting to yellow too, because it was bright white. It's starting to yellow. I like that. I like that it's starting to. Um, I'm not really sure when he made this. He might have made this like a year or two before I got it, so maybe it's like 4 years old. I've had it for like 2 years. And again, guitars are like tools. It's like having a toolbox. I mean, granted, I'm all for the whole like, hey, I got one guitar, bang it out. That's cool too. Um, but this, it's just, I mean, again, it's a neck through, so you're gonna get all that sustain. It is heavy. This thing probably weighs 10 or 11 pounds, maybe 12 pounds. Who knows? It's heavy. One of the heaviest guitars I've ever owned. And being the neck through, so the neck goes. Let me explain what that is. Usually, the neck, like, is in. You can see the layer underneath the paint. You can see where it's all neck through. Goes straight through to the bottom, all the way through. You guys see that? So it's just one piece of wood from the top down to the bottom, and they put on the wings. So that what that does is gives it more stability. I mean, this thing's like a piece of. It's just like a solid. It's just like a pole or like a pipe, and you get more sustain. You get more thump. You get and with these, again, I didn't like these Dimebag pickup. Well, that's what I mean. I was being like, you say, I don't want them, I don't like them. I haven't even tried them. Then once I got to, know them, got to play them, I was like, man, I like these. I mean, they're different. They're hot. I think it's like, I'm like 17 or 18K. It's like double my other pickups. I mean, this thing sustains. If I get a note. And it was going to feedback. Usually you need a stack to do that. Usually you need a stack that's cranked. Like either got to be in a club or a big theater. So what I like about this guitar is you can get all that feedback and rock and roll kind of stuff with the practice at any amp at low volume. Right now I'm at really low volume. That's impossible for most guitars. Most guitars aren't going to sing and ring and sustain to. You're going to get that. Maybe if you got some higher output, I don't even know. I've never had a guitar. Again, this thing sings like I've never heard a guitar sing. But it is, and it sounds good clean too. Let me get a clean tone here. It can do it all. You can get like really clean on it. I'm so rusty right now. It's so early in the morning. But yeah, I usually keep it cranked and a high. It'll just sing forever. It'll sustain. If I kept that going, it would go for, I guess, like forever. It is a monster though. It's heavy. This neck is thick. Anybody that plays it, like, I've never felt I have friends that have like, smaller hands. They're like, man, I can't play this. Like, this thing is what? I think everybody should play guitar. Even if you don't play guitar, I think you should have one like hanging in your house as like art, like on the wall or something. The vibration of the strings kind of, that harmonious kind of vibe. If you know what you're doing, collecting guitars, you can actually do pretty well collecting. Nowadays, guitars have went crazy. Um, some of those 50 Les Paul. I mean, oh my God, it's just like, what? Uh, but this is one of my babies. But I don't play it as much. I thought about, I might sell this. I love it. I've got other guitars. I've had people make offers on it. And it's just, but I'll probably keep it. It's got the Z stamp with the USA. Custom made. Again, I'm so used to flipping things. I'm used to for years in LA, that's what I did. I would just like flip guitar, bam, bam, flipping guitars, flip them. And then I used to just like flip stuff that I liked. Like I would be like, well, I'll just play it till I get bored and then I'll flip it. But then I realized that like, you know what, I can, because I used to not want to deal with certain guitars if I didn't like them. But then it's like, if I can make money, who cares? And I know some people that it's sacrilegious to sell a guitar. I would never, and they have it. And it'll just sustain forever until it goes into the feedback. Sometimes it takes longer. Yeah, Monster. Sounds great. And these pickups, I looked into them. They're actually even though they're high output, they're just like a high output, like a double output PAF, which is like patent applied for. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's see if we can get this up here. Again, it's neck through. It's got the Floyd Rose with the titanium kit. You get this kit to put the silvery looking stuff, chrome looking stuff. That's titanium. Neck through. So it's all from the top to through the body. And again, it is heavy. This thing is like, it's got to be 12 pounds. Has to be. I mean, it's just crazy heavy. But yeah, it's got the split coil. So that's the full humbucker. And I'll split the coil. A little different. You can't tell much. But it's good to have options. My other guitars, I just have like one volume, and a kill switch. That's it. So with this, with the volume and tone, and the tone it's a pretty good tone. So let's see. So you got if you got a lick, roll back your tone, makes it creamier. Go back to the full output. So there's a lot of options you can do here with the push pull and your tone knob and the trim, and it stays in tune. Usually, man, if you look at a trim, especially a cheaper one, that is out of tune. This guitar, and this is crazy. I picked it up. And it was in tune, of course. He had it all set up. And I use like clip-on tuners to, keep it in tune, to see if it's in tune. This thing stayed in tune. And I was playing it, you would not believe. And I'm setting it on the couch, letting it out. I just keep it out of the case, this, that, and the other thing. And for over a month, it didn't even budge. And I was, it's got the trim on it. I was like working, hey, and then friends were, everybody wants to play it. And, I've never had a guitar that did that. Usually you have to tune up every time you pick up guitar. Not this one. I mean, it was over a month. Maybe I forgot. I think I counted like 48 days or something. and it was barely out of tune. I used the fine tuners because these fine tuners at the back. If you just want to do a little bit, these knobs here, you can like tweak it a bit, tune it up. Never have I had a guitar like that or like this. Again, you usually have to tune them. Like, again, that's not a big deal. It's just like you tune your guitar. But yeah, it was shocking because I would put my tuner on it and it would be in perfect tune. I think it was like 48 days. Crazy. So I suggest if you're like a guitar player, you want something like unique, have one built. Again, this is not my specs. I didn't have this built. Zeke at Z Guitars. This is what his, I guess his build. I guess this was his guitar. And it happened to be sitting out at this shop. And I was like, what is that? I can pick it up and play it. Plug it in. What? I need. Yeah. But I didn't bring enough money. I was going to buy it that day. I'll be back. That'll be back. Yeah, exactly. And I did. Because he lived about an hour away from where I was at. In heavy traffic. It's in the San Gabriel Valley off the 210, is it? The 210 highway? It's just crazy. So maybe even more than an hour. I know that one time when I was going out there, I got caught in traffic. So it took like an extra half an hour to an hour. And going back to, just like, Lord have mercy. Like 5 lanes. It just, but it was worth it. Every time I went out there, it was totally worth it. And again, these fret markers, I don't see how big those are. But when you're on stage, you like that. Because at first I was like, I don't know if I can get used to these big fret markers because they're pearloid too. They're really nice. It looks like it's real shell or something. I don't even know. Because he uses like the top of he makes everything himself. He's got a shop. He cuts it and this, that, and the other. But yeah, if it's in a darker environment, you're loving those. And the pearl kind of has that shimmer. You can see it in like even the dimmest of light. And I've never gigged with this. In fact, I haven't gigged in a while. I retired in 2010, 2011. I was just done with it. I'm tired of playing the clubs. But I am getting ready to start playing again. And man, this thing, you'll probably see me with this thing. If somebody offers me a good deal, I might sell this. Give it to another home. Because I don't play it as much as my other guitars. I mean, I'll pull it out. And I always enjoy it when I do. I was like, oh my God, what? I forgot. But I usually play like, there's a couple. I like my first Junior he made me. Then I like that prototype, that V that he made me. Yeah, beautiful guitar. Guitars are my things. So, again, it's got 2 humbuckers, volume and tone, push-pull, 3-way toggle switch, tremolo with the titanium. That's the thing. If you've got one of these Floyd Roses or a Floyd Rose special, whatever it is, because what he was saying was he bought some of these and they were basically unusable. They went out of tune. And I've noticed that too, these like cheaper Floyd Rose specials. But you get that titanium kit, which probably costs more than actually the tremolo. Well, it's set. I mean, titanium is like the hardest, steel out there, or hardest metal. I think it can be pretty pricey too, titanium. But yeah, I'm thrilled. This is my only tremolo guitar, my only neck through. Again, it's got the volute. The volute is this. That's the volute on the neck. And what that does, it gives it stability. If the guitar falls, usually it's the neck that cracks or breaks. That'll give it a little bit of a strength. They used to do that on like violins back in the day. Maybe they still do. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I love this guitar. Um, and just the sustain. I mean, this thing sustains. It'll just keep going. I could literally hit a note and set it and probably leave for a day and come back. It would still be ringing out. And we're not at volume. We're literally on zero. Oh my God. This amp is not even, it's early here. It's like 9:30. Probably waking up my neighbors. Uh, but yeah, just a monster. Yep. Here it is. It's custom made. Custom made Z guitars. Z guitars. Love them. Best guitars I've ever had. I mean, I've had a lot of guitars. And then there's something about something that's been like custom made um, by one luthier, like an expert. He knows what he's doing. They're just special. They're just a little bit better. But yeah, comment below. Do you play guitar? What kind of guitar do you play? Do you have a custom guitar? Check out Z Guitars. I think you can find him on Facebook. He didn't have a website. I like that about him. He's kind of like a no man, doing his own thing. I'm sure you can find him like on Facebook and stuff. It takes time. He might not be able to get back to you. If you do get a guitar from him, I don't even know if you can order. I think you got to be local, but maybe you will. I don't know. Perhaps, maybe you will. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel, which you do. The information's in the description for Cash App and Zelle. And keep on playing guitar. I'll be back tomorrow. I do this every day. I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.